If you think about commerce media, the core of that is transactional data. Not just intent. Retail media tends to play on the intent side. Transactions are a powerful signal of what a consumer has bought, what they're going to buy, where they're going to buy it. And that gives you a real good understanding of the life cycle of a consumer across the journey, the consumer's purchase journey. The other thing I'd throw in that maybe is a little better defining is if you think about retail media, it's very vertically focused, down from the retail. Commerce media spans horizontally across many different merchants and different payment platforms, fintech, whatever it might be. So that I feel is probably a better definition of the difference between those two. If you think about online advertising, today it's very dominated by large retailers, large tech companies, and the SMB is kind of left on the sidelines. So our announcement on the launch of PayPal Ads Manager was really about bringing democracy to that in a couple different ways. One, enabling small merchants to be able to open up their storefront to advertising, and in doing that, allowing brands to access highly loyal SMB customers while allowing SMBs to participate in the retail media ecosystem. The other component of that is allowing these small retailers that don't have the infrastructure and technology to be able to enable and run ads, whether it's PayPal ads or paid social. They can all run it through a single ecosystem that they already operate within, which is their PayPal account. So the way we look at it is you think about creating an SMB retail network made up of tens of millions of retailers, which we think is a huge opportunity for the merchants and a huge opportunity for the market because it provides brands with access to customers that they're probably not able to get to easily today. What we believe at PayPal Ads is that transactional data is a powerful signal to enable brands to more effectively reach consumers and to be able to scale up more efficiently. In so doing that, enabling kind of a broader ecosystem within the commerce media marketplace. It's coming from upper funnel, so think paid social, programmatic display, in some cases from linear. And it makes sense. CMOs are now being challenged to be far more efficient with their dollars and to be able to show real outcomes. We do believe that transactional data as a signal can allow those CMOs to be more effective to really drive kind of from upper funnel to conversion in a more effective way that is more measurable. On-site, proven that on-site is a great way to prove conversion. Off-site is a great way to increase scale. Both are important to have as a component of it. I would say that it really does come down to, it's not necessarily where you're reaching them, but who you're reaching. And so having capabilities to really be able to understand the transactional history of a consumer and then be able to apply that effectively both on-site and off-site becomes a powerful combination for marketers to be able to use. Like incrementality, and I would say where CMOs are also being pushed is on share shift. And so, incrementality does come down to the quality of the data that goes into it. And also, where the industry can continue to improve is more standardization across different platforms. Many platforms operate in a silo. What we've been trying to build at PayPal Ads is things that work within the existing workflow and the existing kind of measurement criteria is out there, so that CMOs, marketing teams can more effectively understand incrementality, share shift, whatever it might be, across the different platforms that they're running on. I think tech infrastructure is probably the biggest challenge, and as we think about how fast the industry has grown up, and if you've been around like I have for quite some time, you might not think it's that fast, but it changes drastically in very short periods of time. And so, what we see out there is that there are different walled gardens that are coming up. There are different tech platforms that make it very, very challenging to have interoperability. Part of our kind of focus is how do we meet the marketers where they're at, and how do we play into their work streams that already exist, so that it becomes easier for them to be able to leverage the capabilities that we're bringing to the table.